Welcome back, everyone, and for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at some of my previous chess.com games, as well as analyze them. So, today, we are going to be starting off with, looking at mostly Blitz games that I've played recently, and, so yeah, let's hop right into it. I'm trying to find them. These are the recent games that I've played, but where do I find? Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be here though. Maybe if oh, here it is, Game Archive. Okay, so let me find what that I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. This is a game that I won. I played at, I think, a pretty high accuracy on this game. And, yeah, let's get right into it. This was a game I played against Hariverveer. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it started off with d4, the queen's pawn, knight f6. So right away, starting off with d4, not an opening I usually play, but after knight f6, this is the Indian game, as you guys know. It turned into the Nimzo Indian, the old Benoni, the Queen's Gambit declined, many systems. I played knight f3 and then g6. The reason I played knight f3 before I played c4 was because, yeah, after bishop g7, it's just a King's Indian. So I played knight f3 before c4 because, like you guys know, this could turn into many different setups. Knight f3 was kind of like, I don't know, I wanted to see if they would fold or like pick up a card. I wanted to see what their repertoire was. So I just played knight f3 as like a move to see what they were going to play. And when I realized they were going to play the King's Indian, I switched back into the main line with c4. So yeah, that was basically the idea of knight f3. And after knight c3, preparing to go e4, we're just going to get a normal King's Indian with d6, e4, and e5 was a shocking move to me. Here, I believe I played an inaccuracy by pushing, but because I could have taken a free pawn, as you guys can see, with d takes e5. However, I didn't want to do this because it splits up my pawns. Also, I wanted to complicate things since it's blitz, so I spent 7 seconds on just pushing the pawn, which, if this was OTB or even rapid, I wouldn't have thought twice about taking the pawn. But since it's blitz and I want to, like, make them feel uncomfortable, I wanted to, like, complicate the game. And so I pushed the pawn with d5. Now, after castles, bishop to d3, we get the following position where white has a good advantage, I believe, but black can play for knight h5, a common idea in the King's Indian defense. Knight h5 simultaneously prepares to move f5, as well as the move knight to f4. Knight to f4 is good, because it makes me trade off my light squared bishop, even though that is a situation of good knight, bad bishop. Good knight. Well, not kind of good knight, because, like, it's going to be lights out soon if you don't do something with white. The King's Indian defense is very dangerous because the f5 push will just kill you. Yeah, right there. Knight f4, just preparing to take away the bishop. Here I made an inaccuracy, I believe, because after knight f4, I got kind of spooked. It wasn't the move I was expecting. I was expecting f5, which is what the theory that I know goes until. So I just took, and they took back. I did this to create a weakness on f4, which is what my following move did, queen d2, targeting the weakness. Now, I was expecting a move like bishop h6, but not at all what the next move they played was, which was bishop to g4. This move just hangs a pawn, which I abruptly took. Abruptly. I don't know how to pronounce that. After bishop there, I played e5, striking in the center, which was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And after takes. I think, yeah, white is just completely dominating here. Up 2 pawns, and we'll go on to comfortably win the game. Not up 2, sorry. Up 1 pawn. And here, my opponent put their knight on the more active square, knight c5. I played the more natural bishop e2, which I just offered a trade of bishops to go into a winning endgame. However, after I played the move bishop to e2, my opponent made a blunder. My opponent didn't notice that my bishop was on e2, I don't think. Or they thought they could take back, and they blundered their bishop after bishop takes h5. Bishop takes h5 just wins, because you can't take back, because the piece is pinned. And so they tried a tactic here with a knight to d3. It's a deflection to get the bishop. Here I thought for a bit, but after this I could take the queen with check, or I could take the free pawn. I took the queen, and here I'm just completely cooking. Put my rook on an open file, rook e1. I expected rook e8 to challenge me for the file, but not king back there. That move is pretty shocking because it's like a pretty useless move. Here, I could have took the pawn, but I knew that was losing because then my pass pawn is the b pawn, which is not good. I didn't want it to be. My d pawn was already very advanced, and after playing the move d6, my pawn would get even more advanced. Rook there, rook to e7, just sniping all the pawns. Take a snack, and then another. And here, what I like to say is when I take pawns, I like to say, free food! Because it's basically free food. You look at my clock, I've only spent 1 minute on 25 moves. Even though it's 3-2, that's really good time management. I'm basically gaining like a second or spending a second per move, which is really good. And so after I took another free food, they played rook to f7. Now, rook to f7 is the kind of move that kind of loses, because I understand the goal. You want to trade off 1 pair of rooks, right? But after I take your rook, just right here, if I played rook takes f7, king takes f7, which is what I did. And then here, the critical move is knight a4. Knight a4, it took me, I think, a good 30 seconds. You see, I spent so much time on knight a4. Well, not on knight a4, but rook takes a7, because I calculated that. Because knight a4, to go knight c5 to protect the pawn. If I just push the pawn, king d7 would be the death of me. So now here I give a check on c5 with the knight. King e5, d7, f5 is what was played. F5 is it's like a last hope. They sacrifice the rook, only move, takes was check. G takes f3 check is what was played. And then after king takes, of course, I go there with the other pawn. Here I just started playing really goofy. Sacrificed literally everything. And I just went on to win. Checkmate. The time management was really good by my opponent at the end, but because of that they blundered. My time management was good at the beginning, but because of that, I didn't blunder when my time management was good. So, that was the game. As you see, they made a lot of blunders. They made a lot of tactical errors. And I think that's what mainly took them out. Okay, so, looking for miss wins. 83.3% accuracy. I expected it. Because I thought this one would actually be the late 70s, early 80s, and which is what, as you can see, classical d4 opening. See, d5 is an accuracy. I should have taken the pawn. That pawn was free for the taking. D takes e5 is best, as the engine says. Castles is good. Bishop there is good. Castles, we'll just speed through this analysis. Bishop takes isn't an accuracy, but as you can see, my follow-up was really good. with queen d2. It was, I believe, the best move. The best move was to go bishop c2, which is what I expected. It wanted me to keep the bishop pair, but I gave it up. And queen d2 is best. So e takes f4, queen d2 is the best move. And bishop g5 is an inaccuracy, which I just took the pawn and played e5, which is a miss. The best move here, oh, that's a huge miss. The best move here, okay, well, that's losing because of that. But the best move is to play g4. Oh, that won the bishop. Oh, well, I mean, this is Blitz. So simple tactics like that are easily missed. So bishop h5 is a mistake because of g4, which I don't know how I missed, but, you know. Man, a g4 is such a straightforward tactic, but I played e5, d takes e5. Knight takes is losing because of... Why is knight takes losing? I don't understand why knight takes is losing. Bishop takes e5 is a miss. Okay, so what was the best move? That was the best move for me instead of knight takes. But the best move for them was to queen d6. Oh, it wins the knight. Really? No, it doesn't. After rookie. Oh, no, but then they play f6. Yeah, they play f6. After rook e1, guys, they play f6. So I take queen takes, knight e7, queen back, just retreating the queen. Knight c5 was a bit tricky. I played here, which deemed an inaccuracy, of course. The engine just, like, hates every move I make, basically. Bishop c2 was the best move, again. And they blundered, as you guys noticed there. They blundered knight d3. It was a blunder, remember I told you guys, because you can't take back because it's the king's pinned. But this was, like, pretty straightforward. My opponent missed that on time trouble, I think, or they didn't even pay attention, I don't think. So after the queen takes knight, g takes h5, and I think white's just cruising here. I was a bit confused on this move because I didn't want to lose my bishop, but it is the best move, as you can see. And after takes, there was a free pawn there, by the way. For those of you that noticed, on c7, there's a free pawn. But I decided not to take it and just put my rook on the open files, put my rook behind the pawn, and just push. See, I told you guys that taking the pawn would be bad. Wait, let me show you. Here. So, taking, if I push, it's plus 9, 9.5. If I take, it's plus 7. That's a difference of 2.5 advantage. Which is, I mean, if I take, I'm still winning because I'm up a knight. Like, that's obvious. But just so that you guys know, for endgame principles, you guys should always push in this scenario. Rook e7 is what was played, obviously. King could have played a variety of moves. Could have pushed even, but rook e7, of course, being the best option to get my rook on the 7th rank and gobble up all that free food. Free food! Rook there, takes, and you know knight a4. And what does it want? Is the knight a4? Knight a4 is not even the best move. The best move is b4 for some odd reason. Check. Here, it's plus 16. Plus 19. I don't think I've ever seen the eval that high. Except for mate. And then here I just, like, threw the game. After, well, I didn't throw, I mean, just kept the king there. And yeah, just checkmated. So, the takeaway from this game is that you shouldn't play really fast, I guess. Okay, let's go here. And, let's see, there's a good game here. I want to show you guys some good ones. Oh, I'll show you guys this game. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, this guy, Eduardo Squidwardio, is my classmate. His name is Edward Lee. He's pretty good at chess. He's a nice friend. He's a nice guy. He's the person that gave me this idea for the channel. So, shout out to Edward Lee. if you're watching, he's probably watching. He's one of my only subscribers. So this was a 15-10 game that we played in class because we're like both like chess nerds. Man, that feels fun. That feels fun to say for some reason, chess nerds. Oh well, so this game was in class. It was 15-10. He had the white pieces, and of course, Edward likes to start with e4. He also likes the London system. I played c5, the Sicilian. He has no theory for the Sicilian whatsoever. So yeah, he just knows. So I gave him 2 opening repertoires, and that's the London system and the Caro-Kann. So those are the only openings he knows. Bishop c4, of course, he's stepping away from mid lines. And I played. This is a close Sicilian variation, so I played this. After he played Queen f3, I looked at him, and then he just started smiling. Queen f3, I thought was losing by force after knight. Knight e5, I guess, is winning. But I played e6, drops mate, which I think knight e5 is probably the best move, just forking. That loses a tempo by moving a piece twice. Oh, well. He played, after e6, Edward spent some time. I don't know why. I don't know what his follow-up was. But it might just be some bad internet in our school. He played d3. d3 is a kind of move that, well, I guess it loses. But knight a3, taking advantage of my move e6. So my bishop can't take the knight on a3. After knight e3, I played b5. And he just blundered here. We can analyze this position and see that in this position, this was okay. Knight e5 is not actually the best move. The best move is e6, like I did. That's quite odd. I expected knight e5 to be the best move, but anyways, d5 here is really strong, but I'm not gonna play d5. So I played a6 to play b5. Knight e2 is the best move. He played knight a3. It's -1. b5. Here's a blunder. f6 just wins. Like, I'm not going to miss a tactic like that. I think what Edward thought was that, oh, like my queen is under attack. So when I move my queen, he's going to move his bishop. Or he went for danger levels. But when you danger someone else's levels, you got to make sure your levels don't get dangered. You guys understand? So, yeah, f6, I mean, here's just brutal. Another move is queen b6. So even if I move my queen away, I'm still completely cooking. Which I don't understand. I don't understand how that works, though. Oh, it's because, okay, so queen b6. After bishop there, push, takes. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, out of the opening, I just got a completely winning advantage, as you guys can see. So, after the move f6 here, I think the best move is bishop e3. But what do? He sacked the bishop. And played this, which I hugged the rook. I mean, to be honest, like, you guys see the advantage. I'm still winning no matter what I do. But I just didn't notice that. I thought I was out of the woods. I thought I was just gonna, like, win this game with ease, which I usually do against Edward. And that he stood no chance. But I shouldn't have let my guard down. It's still -4. Somehow, in the game, I thought this was a draw after I hugged the rook. But it's still -4, which is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. But I'll probably throw away my advantage at some point here. So after queen takes the free rook, I took the bishop, of course. And after taking, the best move is queen b8, moving the queen away. Edward, of course, castled. I played c takes the free piece. Queen f3 is really strong here. But, I mean, he moved his knight. I took the free pawn yet again because, you know, I underestimated Edward so much. You guys ever had that? Like, you just play someone and then you underestimate them and then they start, like, destroying you. So it's -3 now. And this move is what I thought I was, like, I told him that this is the best move, rook b8, because I knew it looks so strong. It looked just so strong. Here, I had no idea what to play. King d8 looks ugly. So I played this, and I told Edward, I think you screwed up. He took, which was wrong. He should have took knight, which I didn't even see. I mean, at this point, I'm still winning, but, like, you know, it's much less than what it was. So takes, he brings his queen back. I play bishop e7, castle my king, takes, d5, takes. Put my pieces behind, and what? I hug the knight. That's a free knight, by the way. And I don't take it. And in this position, I sacrifice the rook. Knight takes b8 knight takes c8 is a free rook. Mind you, that's a completely free rook. And so, okay, I'll tell you guys my ideology behind this, right? Takes, I thought after that's a free knight, but I thought taking it is like gonna be bad. And Edward kept saying that I'm so bad and that he's gonna beat me even though he blundered. So I'm like, okay, Edward, I'm about to tactic you. And now I'm just losing. I thought this was winning because he can't stop promotion. But what I missed was rook all the way down to give me a check. The best move is king f1. Huh? Best move is king f1 there. So after this check, what's the move? The move is rook c8, and you give up. You just give it up, and white's up a pawn, so white's gonna win this. But I got really cocky, and at this point, it's winning if they play there, and they did. Knight b7 is winning, but they give this check. I go here. The only move is rook e1. And Edward, does he find the move? No! He plays g4 check and I'm winning, but I don't take the pawn. I used this pawn as a shield to prevent any more checks, and I just wanted to escape and promote. So I played king there. They played knight f5 check. I took the pawn down. They played that check, and they hung the game. They can't take the bishop because I promote. Oh my days. Water play. And this check, you can give as many checks as you want. I'll take. You can't take. And Edward just hangs me. And yeah, that was that. Here, it's pretty funny. Edward told me to put my queen on e8. I mean e1. Just hang the game. And actually, I wanted to do it for the memes, but I mouse slipped and I accidentally checkmated him. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. I'll show you guys one more game here. Let me find one I played at high accuracy so you guys can learn from it. Let's see. Oh, this one should be good. Okay, I win by resignation in this one. So let's go to the top. E4. This game was against Srikar Luri from the United States of America. This was a E4 game. I spent a lot of time preparing for D4 in this time period. So E4, I played my Sicilian just as normal. B3. The B3 Sicilian is one of the most... Well, it's a Gotham chess recommendation, but the B3 Sicilian is really good because it allows you to feed kind of the bishop onto the H8 to A1 diagonal. Now, the best move here, I believe, was D6. The move knight c6 and b. This is also a recommendation of Gotham chess. And this recommendation is called the A3 Sicilian. The A3 Sicilian, it's like the delayed wing gambit, I believe. And the point is that you still lose a pawn, but apparently white is perfectly fine here because of the open A file, I believe, mostly, and they set up a queenside attack. But I'm not sure. After B3, we enter the B3 Sicilian. Alright. None other than Gotham chess. And so here, against every close Sicilian I play this setup, I play kind of a Najdorf-y kind of structure. And my reasoning is that if the bishop ever lands at c6 in the Najdorf, you guys know that black attained full equality, right? And so that's always my reasoning. I never play knight c6 first because I never want to get my pawns doubled. So I always play d6 and then knight c6 so that I can put my bishop on d7. Now you guys see d3. And here I played a6, which I always do. And after bishop takes, my bishop's on c6, so I have equality. And here, I was expecting a move like c4 or knight c3, but no, knight e7 and fianchetto the bishop. This turns into a sort of dragon setup. You guys know the Sicilian dragon, so basically with g6 and the bishop on g7 fianchettoed, it's a perfectly fine structure. But I combine it with the dragon. So it's a Dragodorf. Takes, queen c7. Targeting the knight, even though the knight's already defended. Just a useful move. In a variety of Sicilians. Queen c7. So this is basically a mix of 3 different Sicilians. The dragon, the Najdorf, and the queen c7 one, which is the Taimanov Sicilian. So now white plays rook e1. And here, there's not really much of a plan, I guess. Black can just play solidly for a couple of moves, reach a middle game where they're completely fine. I expected this to end in a draw because, well, we're probably going to, there's going to be a huge trade of pieces, and mostly we're just going to end in a draw. So here I castled, knight here, and e6. I played e6 because I didn't want my e-pawn to be a target, which it could have if the knight on e5 ever moved. The rook's vision on that pawn would have opened up. A3, b5. And I'm challenging white for the space there. Knight takes, queen takes, knight there. Queen c7. Preparing to go knight d7 and trade the queens. I'm trading the knights. b5. c5. c4. Knight d7. And here, whoopsies. Here, they just hug the knight. What? Why'd they do that? Well, basically, after knight d7, they didn't pay attention. They just played b4. And after this whole trade, I'm just completely winning. C takes, A takes, B takes, C takes. Bishop g3. I could have taken the free pawn on h2 with a check. I just wanted to get out of trouble and get to a position where I don't have much weaknesses. After c5 there, mind you, the move a5 looks like it's a, well, I get the c5 pawn because it's a removing of the defender, and I automatically get the a5 pawn back. So it was a nice little tactic there. They missed that, of course, and then I just took the pawn back. So here I'm completely winning. I have no doubt in my mind that this is a win. And here, I've sacrificed the rook. And I got the skewer. What? Why would I do that? Well, you guys see, I could, in this position, just sacrifice it. Because after they take, and you have to be very careful here, because you cannot take with the queen. If you take with the queen, you're losing. The only move is bishop d4, skewering the queen to the king. And after a move like that, you take the queen with check. The king moves, you give a check, I just hug the bishop. With another check, I take this pawn, and I go on to, well, just, in this position, they just resigned. Because they could have played on for a bit longer, but they decided not to. Okay, so let's analyze this game. I think this one was I think this accuracy was in the high 80s, low 90s. That's not really because I played well, that's just because they blundered a lot. And so I took advantage of my opponent's mistakes. And yeah. So overall, that game, you guys see, I finished with, it was a 10-minute game. I finished with 619. They finished with 448. Not really much time spent during that game. So let's go ahead and analyze it. Yeah, 92.5. See? An estimated rating is 2,000. I think that's the highest estimated rating I've ever gotten. No. Never mind, sorry. My highest estimated rating was 2,100 once. That was in a 5-move game, so this is really good accuracy and really good estimated rating. 92.5 and 0 blunders, 0 inaccuracy, 0 mistakes. That wasn't even a brilliant move. What? Okay, that's just wild. E4, yeah, the opening was pretty. Okay, what's this called? This opening's called the Snyder variation. Huh. That's pretty wild. I've never heard of that before. A6 takes. Okay, wait, what? Bishop takes C6 is a great move. Apparently, it's the only move that's not losing. But you just gave up the bishop. Yeah, but I guess your bishop gets trapped otherwise, so. You know. But I don't understand, though, because you could still play bishop c4, the game goes on, I guess, after bishop e5 or something. But yeah, developing the knights, g6. Mind you, I'm completely winning here. What's the best move here? Best move is e5, which creates a backwards pawn. Okay, wait. What? e5 is the best move? Wait, how? That creates a backwards pawn. H4 is the best pawn from white. That's when you know that the game's crazy. That the game's absolutely insane. Wow. E5 just creates a backwards pawn on d6, but okay. After e5, takes is an accuracy. Really, huh? Queen c7 is excellent. Rook e1's excellent. Queen c7, I mean, it's kind of pointless. The fact that I'm losing here by a slight bit even is crazy. I thought this was like a drawing position, but apparently not. I think the mistake occurred when I played that inaccuracy with d takes e5. I think it wanted me to just move my knight, which is absolutely something I would not have done. But, you know, it is what it is. So, Queen c7, by the way, guys, just so you know why I played it. It's a move that's, like, really commonly played in the Sicilian when I play it. Rook e1, castles. This is an accuracy. Okay, castles is good. When I castle, what's the advantage when I castle? It's minus 0.4 here, the biggest advantage out of the opening. And taking just downright loses after Queen c7. This is points plus 0.6, and then now they just threw it. Wow, that's really surprising, actually. I did not expect that. Knight takes... Knight df3 is... e6 is good. e6 I played to remove the weakness of the e-pawn. b5, knight takes e6, queen takes e6, knight e5, queen c7, c4, queen c4, knight d7, b4 is a blunder. b4 is a blunder. b4 is a blunder because this is when they hung the knight. It was from minus 0.11 to minus 4.44, which is absolutely insane. They just trade everything and get into a position where I can't lose. And you guys see here, bishop d4 is the only move. By the way, just so you guys know, that takes, check, gave up bishop for no reason, but queen d8, and they resigned. What's the move that they blundered? b4? Okay. So let's check how much time they spent on the move b4. 97. What? They spent 1 second on the move b4. The move b4 hangs the knight 3 different ways. And they spent 1 second on it. They spent 10 seconds on this. And they just pre-moved. They literally pre-moved b4. That is so sad. I mean, that is just sad. And then how long did they spend on this? They spent close to 30 seconds taking back. They were probably just contemplating life decisions at this point. Takes bishop back. And yeah, you guys know how the rest of the game went. They didn't spend much time actually on the rest of the game. They just played quickly. And yeah. Are there any other games I want to show you guys now? Let me see. No, it looks like that's it. Alright, guys. So I'll see you next time. And thanks.